I had a back injury shoveling stone into a hopper that we were doing a hot roof at, it was the Eastern Breeders at the time, down in Cornell. And there was a hot roof where you mop down hot tar and felt, and just a back-breaking job to start with. Almost everybody that works in that industry winds up with a back problem, simply because it's just a horrendous amount of lifting 100 to 125 pounds constant. And I threw my back out to the point where I actually felt a horrendous pain. I got a white flash of light and wound up in a pile on the ground and got left there because the roof couldn't stop being done. So I got left there. I came through after about 3 or 4 minutes and managed to crawl over and get as comfortable as I could laying down, and laid there for 3 hours while they finished the roof, and then eventually somebody took me home. And the next day I went to a Dr. Stewart, and he told me at that time that I was doomed for life, that this was an injury that would keep reoccurring constantly throughout my life, and it has. Most of the time it happened at work, but I couldn't prove it because it manifested itself at home. I was constantly going to physical therapy, and the hot packs and the massages and exercises, and a lot of which is good. And I think physical therapy probably has its place. But when it comes to bones being out of place, then people are all wet. They're out in the dark. I know they are. After going through this for about 20 years, somebody mentioned to go to chiropractor. The first chiropractor I ever went to was Dr. Thomas Clark, and the experience was enjoyable. I went to his office, and within 3 visits, I could walk upright like a mannequin. This would have taken 6 to 8 weeks of physical therapy to do the same thing he did in 3 visits, to get me anywhere near that. Unfortunately, Dr. Clark had some physical problems. I could sense it on his last year. He wasn't as strong as he used to be. And some of the things that he was doing weren't quite being as effective as they were in the beginning. I had dislocated my back in 2004 and again in 2005. Since 2005, I haven't worked at all. I have been in some sort of pain since then. Dr. Clark became ill. You showed up at his office. That's where I first met you. You have a good demeanor, and I felt really comfortable with you. And I think that has a lot to do with your ability to help me, is people have to feel comfortable with the doctor they're going to. And because I think a lot of it has to do with relaxation. You have to be able to relax in order for you to do your job. And here about 6 weeks, 5 days ago, I came to a visit in your office. It was on a Friday. I remember it very distinctly. Something sounded like Velcro, and then there was a loud clunk I heard in my ears. Very loud clunk, like something was a long way out and dropped a long way in. And since then, I have been absolutely pain-free. Nothing. I can dance again. I couldn't dance. I haven't been able to dance for 25 years because if I so much as danced any steps whatsoever for more than 30 seconds, it was a trip to therapy of some sort. I threw it out. It was gone. It was out. At times I had to crawl home on my hands and knees. Right now, I am experiencing wonderful things going on in my body. I can feel it. I just hope they can keep going. And I think with you working on my back once a week, I think this process can keep going. I had a neck problem that was really, really severe. That's clearing up. You're working on that. I mean, I'm just...
Digestion.
My life is so much better than it's ever been in my life.
Awesome.
Well, until I first back injury. Up till then, I was a pretty healthy young man.
Awesome. Thank you. That's
okay.
perfect.